Hey everyone, back again for episode 5 of The Moth Hunter. I am the Moth Hunter. This is my new show. And I hunt for moths in everyday homes, clean homes, new homes, old homes, doesn't matter. They're out there and they're waiting to eat everything. And the worst part about it is they're not moth. Like if you see a moth flying in your house, in your cupboard, in your room, anywhere, you know that there's dozens, maybe hundreds of eggs somewhere close by to you, close by to where you sleep, close by to where you eat. So I am on a hunt right now. We're gonna go into my spice cupboard. It's time. It's been a year probably since I've cleaned it, and I know that moths love to invade spices. There's no moths right now. Like, I've never seen a moth fly out of here, but I did have an invasion, a larvae invasion into my rice, and it was closed bags of rice. So like maybe 3 of them. So that told me those cocoons, they're there. And when I say cocoons, when the moths are flying around, their job, they're not eating anymore. They're done eating. They are laying eggs, and they're laying eggs in your food, in your clothes. Not pantry moths, there's clothing moths. There's another kind of moth. So I'm hunting for those eggs. I'm a moth hunter. I am the moth hunter. And I'm going to show you right now how I know that those little darn cocoon larvae grossnesses have found their way into my basil that I grew over the summer, dried that basil, and now it's here. I'm going to flip the camera around. Watch this. Okay, this is my basil. It looks fine. I don't really see any bugs crawling in there. It does not look like an infestation. But let's check. I can tell that there's some evidence of weird crumbs going on, so I know we're susceptible. So look at this. I undid the top very carefully. Do you see that thing dangling? Do you see that thing moving around? That, my friends, is a darn larvae cocoon eating basil. I don't know how it got it, but I've learned that moths, because they are little cocoons, they come from little threads of silk. When they're an egg, I think they drop out from the egg when they hatch. They drop out from the egg, and then they're like tiny, tiny little things, and they need to eat to grow. So they're eating my basil. And it's hanging because its little body is at the end of that silkworm thing, and it's living off of that one piece of basil right now. I learned about this when I had what's called bagworms on my evergreen bushes in the front of our house. And they start just like this, and they take an evergreen, just a teeny tiny little green evergreen pointy thing, and they collect it all around themselves, and they build the cocoon out of an evergreen, so that by the end, before they hatch into these nasty hairy moths, they look like pine cones. That's what I thought they were for years, until I did the homework and thought and realized. So that's enough for me, guys. Seeing that one little dangly thing. I'm gonna throw this whole thing away. But can you see above? You need a flashlight. Where's my flashlight? Let's turn it over, see if it's still here. Yeah. So it's white. Ooh, my cupcakes are ready. Hold on. Okay. So you can see that it's kind of white. See that? That's that silk. That's a darn cocoon thing that's gonna eventually turn into a moth if it hangs in there. Guess what? It's not gonna hang in there anymore. It's gone. Trash. Oh yeah, done. So there's a lot of that going on right now. So I'm gonna look at the rest of my spices. I'm taking them out of the spice cupboard. I'm putting them into the sink. I'm gonna wipe them all down. I'm gonna look inside at each one of them. If they're safe, they'll go back in. But otherwise, I'm gonna wipe that down, bleach it, and then wipe those oil bottles down, because those collect a lot of oil, especially from the oven and the stove. As food travels up here, it just coats everything and gets all nasty.
So we're gonna clean it and we're gonna be moth free again. Moth cocoon free. So check you later. This has been an episode of The Moth Hunter, me going into homes, finding moth cocoons. I hope I don't have to find a flying moth because that means it's gone too far and there's tons of eggs around. So what we're doing is looking for the eggs, looking for the cocoons to wipe them out so that you never have to see those nasty little moths. Have a good night.